Wong.
Well, Mr. Chairman, thank you, members, for your contribution and question. I actually got a collection instead of 2 or 4 questions, so I'll try to address it slowly. I think they are good questions, and we welcome those, and we did do our homework addressing that. Let me just tackle the first one. I understood is raised by Honourable Leanne Dalzell in terms of the concern that retailers who engage in credit contracts and got caught because of a preliminary financial service, whether we have done the amendment to make sure they're not caught under the Financial Advisors Act. And the amendment is on SOP number 146 on page 6 under Clause 7, new section 13. So I hope that addressed the members' good questions, that people whose principal activity is not for financial services would not get caught under that. So that's the first one. The second one is to do with whether organizations like telecom and taxi charges and the like, do they have to be registered as a financial advisor? Now, at this stage, what we would do is the minister would consider that and make a decision whether, because that involves exemption in 2 parts. One is whether they need to register, and the second one is whether they need to be part of a provide or involved in the dispute resolution scheme. So the minister would make a policy announcement, and if they can be exempt from both of those, or whether they can exempt from one or whatever. So we will undertake to address that issue. The third issue, I guess we really wanted to reflect and make sure it's right, but I understand that if we need to do anything, it can be done by regulation, so that wouldn't be an undue hold-up of the issue. I just want to acknowledge the effort on the both sides of the House that we are aimed to make the legislation work, so there's nobody wanting to uphold anything unnecessary, but we also want to get it right. Now, I also understand the third issues that raised with me is about the ability of advisors who want to opt in to the scheme. And the minister have undertake to consult with the stakeholders and because we want to make sure if the provision, which will be and add in the form of regulation, if we're going ahead that we get it right, and we're looking at a time frame around 2 months and about, we want to do consultation, we want to make the regulation right. So that's the third issue. The fourth issue is Charles will just raise in terms of section 49D. Why have we crossed out the word or complainant? Section 49D is not aimed as to be an appeal section. So which is the purpose of that particular clause is to enforce people who have to, if they got case against them. So it's an enforcement section. The reason that we cross off the complainant, we believe that the enforcement action is more effective, is not by the complainant. So it's not dealing with the appeal right. It's more about enforcing a decision that's taken under the dispute resolution. And we thought the better power would be exercised by people who operate the scheme rather by the complainant. So there's absolutely no intention to create mischief. So I just wanted to emphasize it's a section that's aimed for enforcing the dispute resolution result, and we think the person who runs the scheme is better to enforce that. So it's not conferring an appeal right.
The Honourable Leanne Dalzell. to having the last word on these matters.